Hey guys, Youngscast here, coming with you with another video. Today's video is going to be mostly about the video game that's just coming out, Hogwarts Legacy. Now, if you've already read the title about it, you know that I'm trying to give somebody a copy of the game. I want to spend that $60, do that giveaway because I really think it would be fun and I think you guys would enjoy it. So, like I said, for the first subscriber, that's not me. I will please give me your information. We can do that and have a Steam account, and I will shell out the money and absolutely get you that Hogwarts Legacy copy so that you too can enjoy the game as the rest of us do. Anyways, so what my hopes are for Hogwarts Legacy, I mean, I'm really hoping the game is good, obviously, because of all the hype and the controversy around it. I say controversy, but no one really cares about the controversy because let's be honest here, we're all looking to play the game. But I'm really hoping that this game can be as immersive and as interactive as it's promising, because I believe if it delivers on those, it could possibly dethrone my holy trinity of games, which, if you didn't know, were BioShock 1, BioShock 2, and BioShock Infinite. So at least dethrone one of them. I'm looking at you, BioShock 2. But I really do believe from what I've heard that the game itself will be good. I mean, obviously, let's start off with the most basic detail that I think everyone's noticed, the graphics. Now, what I've noticed about the graphics is they're great. They look to be good. I love the reflections, the heads-up displays, and attention to detail as well. But I will say, one thing I'm not too crazy about, if you guys have seen any of the gameplay footage, is the hair physics. And what I mean when I say that is, I've seen sometimes they look like they're working, and other times when you're on a broomstick going like 25, 30 and your hair is just not moving. I mean, your cloak's flapping, but your hair's not moving. And I know that's a lot to ask for because for each individual hairstyle, they had to come up with the physics then, and it's a complex progress. But that's obviously one thing I think that just a little detail like that could make it a lot more immersive. But the Hogwarts castle itself looks incredible, from what I can tell. I mean, even like I was talking about the reflections in the stone, I was like, wow, that looks like it's going to be awesome. So super hyped for that part. The parts outside of Hogwarts I'm not too familiar with, so we'll wait and see on that. I should have started this video by saying I wouldn't consider myself a huge Harry Potter buff, but I do know my house is Gryffindor and my Patronus is a dragon, which is pretty intense, I know. Much better than what Pottermore told me I was, which was a Hufflepuff with a Weasel Patronus. But let's not get into those details. Which, by the way, weasels are very fierce. But let's just say if that was who I really was in the Harry Potter world, I would never use Expecto Patronum. Probably would rather let the Dementor do its work to me, because I'd rather have that than the social humiliation that would follow. Anyways, continuing. Speaking of casting spells, there is the spell casting aspect. Now, I've heard that the idea behind it is this combat system is almost going to be kind of like a turn system. Not entirely so, like where you shoot, they shoot, you shoot, they shoot. It's more of I think you can sneak 2 to every 1 in, but there is a recharge rate with the spells, which it makes sense. So otherwise you're not running into any room and just machine gunning something, because I could tell you, as someone who hates people like that in any sort of online game, that it's just not a way to play properly. But my biggest gripe so far would have to probably be what's going to happen with the 3 unforgivable curses, which, as you know, are going to be extremely difficult to implement without having to explain some backstory, because I think we're all wondering, if you're a Harry Potter fan, you know the punishment for using an unforgivable curse, which obviously doesn't seem to be a problem in this game, because in what gameplay footage we have seen, the character has been seen using unforgivable curses and nothing comes of it. So perhaps they explain it, and perhaps I'm just ignoring another piece of the information they might have put out there. But for me personally, the other thing would be, I mean, it's really easy to take the first 2, the Avada Kedavra and the Cruciatus Curse, and animate those. But the Imperious Curse is, I didn't have very high expectations going in for it because I knew that they were going to do some sort of gameplay methodology behind it instead of going for just like you being able to just control the other person directly. But I think as of right now, the mechanics have it so that this person that you use it on is more or less your temporary teammate, and then what happens afterwards, not entirely sure. But it's more so you have to use it in a battle scenario, which is kind of disappointing because, it would just be, when I think of completely open world using spells on whoever, whenever, I wouldn't say the Imperious Curse would be like the first thing I'd do, but like it'd just be kind of funny to use the Imperious Curse on somebody, have them give you their homework, and not that I would do that. That's criminal, obviously, but yeah, about the spell casting, I would say it looks fairly good. I've heard the combat system's actually surprisingly complex when it comes to something along the lines of, say, a duel, which is good and bad. I thought that might be going through this because, as we all know, the game standard for combat systems right now, I still believe, you can double check me on this, well, one of the most satisfying combat systems, arguably, is the Arkham Knight series, where, the Arkham series. Sorry, I'm playing Arkham Knight right now. And it's very satisfying because not only do you get to feel like you're fighting these criminals, but like you get the alert for the next move and you can react accordingly, which is probably the best way to do it. And it looks like that's how they're doing it too, where you're alerted of a spell coming to you and you can use Protego before it's casted. And so I wouldn't say completely comparable to the Arkham series combat system. Obviously, you're not throwing people around. Well, I take that back. You do throw people around, but with spells. And then as far as the story goes, not much has been said about it except for what everyone knows with the ancient magic. And you are a fifth year starting at Hogwarts for the first time. And so it sounds like there could be something to it. I'm not sure how in-depth that plot's going to go or why they're going to explain why your character's so special, because let's be honest here. You're at a school of witchcraft and wizardry. I mean, how much more special can you be than the guy sitting next to you? But I definitely am hoping they will do some sort of explanation, because it would feel a lot more fulfilling rather than just saying you stumble across so-and-so spell and you learn it. Maybe you're part of a bloodline, or maybe you're... I'm not sure. It's part of your destiny. But you can see what I'm getting at, where I think it's super important to always have a backstory for this kind of stuff, because it's so lazy would be the right word for when you play a game and they're just like, oh yeah, by the way, you can do this, but well, it doesn't matter why you can do it. You can do it. Stop asking questions. But I feel pretty confident they're going to do something about that. As far as the magical creatures aspect, I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. I would love for it to be expanded upon, where you can, I don't know, did they show in any of the showcases where you could use magical creatures as attack forms? I'm pretty sure they did. And I'm assuming that goes hand in hand with how much you know about them, how much you have in your little greenhouse. But the concept is interesting because it's almost like breaking it into classes, which they may or might not do with the whole Beastmaster, or you get the heavy attack, heavy defense. It's interesting how they could do it, but I'm not entirely sure what approach they're taking to that. But as far as anything else I'm really worried about with the game, the character selection looks great. I thought it was funny. I saw a few other gamers, they got to do that early testing and whatnot, and the character selection, like I said, you get so many faces, hairs, and ways to make your character look. But then, like, there was this girl who was testing it, and she made a girl, and she had the option to have this like deep manly voice. I'm like, I know why they put that in there, and it's quite comical to think that you too could be a small dainty woman and talk like a 6'8" man. But I'm really thinking that this game it has so much potential. I know everyone's talked about the potential. The sky's the limit here with the graphics, the story, the different missions you can only do at certain times of day. That's really exciting, by the way. I'd love to walk around Hogwarts at night or do something along the lines of that. Of course, again, it's all about explanation and how they handle it. So, but what I want to focus on in this video, like I said, is if you are the first subscriber to the channel, I will shell out the $60 for you to be able to play Harry Potter Hogwarts Legacy. Well, I guess it's not Harry Potter, but Hogwarts Legacy 2, so that you can enjoy it alongside me. And I'd really appreciate if you guys would just go ahead and do it. Contest is open as of right now, and hopefully I'll have more content coming in later this week. Figure things out with the computer, and I apologize again for not loading anything. Subscribe to the channel if you like the content. And if you want your chance to win at Hogwarts, a free copy of Hogwarts Legacy, the standard version. And hopefully I will see you all then, but keep it cool and Harry Potter on.